G flat, E flat. I don't know if I want to play B, C, or D flat because any of them would sound good after that. It just has a different feel, a different texture to it. Oh, that's G flat. This is E flat minor, and then B flat 6. Wait, is that a 6? 1, 2, 3. No, I'm sorry, 7. B7. This is. I guess this is. Well, this is E flat. Um, Flat 7 with a 2. I don't know if that. I don't know if this is a sus or a 9. I don't really know how to distinguish the two. I don't know if it matters. If it only changes because of like what inversion of the chord you're in. If that determines the whether or not a 9 is a 9 and not a 2. I don't understand it. I never went to school for music theory. I went to school for like classical piano playing, so it was more about like learning about notes and learning how to play more of them and lots of them. But it doesn't really teach you a lot in the way of like different like color theory in music and like textures and things like that. I don't know if these are real words or anything like that. It's just what ways that I've come to sort of describe things. It's like you can say that something has a flavor, but you can also say that there's also a profile to it, like a flavor profile or something like that. Maybe it's pedantic, maybe it's just a matter of semantics, but I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to play with those distinctions because it really adds a lot of color. One thing I think about a lot is the idea of like perception of senses and things like that. I'm not trying to get too deep because it's really not that deep for me. I think about it in terms of like dogs and cats, and I wonder, because humans are different from all the animals in a lot of different ways, especially with their frontal lobe and stuff like that. So I tend to think that a lot of the things that we see in other animals are things that we've got a part of in ourselves, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm getting off track. With dogs and cats, like dogs have a really powerful sense of smell, and cats do too. I don't know if a lot of you know that, but it's not the same. And it's actually arguably they're different qualities of powerful in terms of how dogs are powerful and cats are both powerful sniffers, like smellers. Like they can smell things much better than we can. And for dogs, their power is in their ability to detect a lot more smells than we can, but also in their ability to smell things from very far away. Whereas cats don't possess the ability to smell things quite as far as dogs can. But from what I've come to understand is that cats actually have a larger variety of color to what they can smell and taste. So that always makes me think about things like how we perceive music and stuff like that, because I wonder how subjective that is. Something might sound good to me, but might not sound good to somebody else because they listen to this music by these artists and they haven't listened to music by those artists. And likewise for everybody, how can we have listened to all of the music at once? So I always wonder how that kind of perception plays into things when we listen to music and when we sit down and decide, well, what sounds good to me? I certainly don't have an answer to it. Like I said, I wasn't trying to make it that deep. It's just something I like to think about a lot because it's like, yeah, even in a more simple example, like with dogs and cats, just like cats can smell more colors of the rainbow and dogs can smell the rainbow from further away. Kind of makes me think about our own dichotomies in humans. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I get nervous, I just use big words. It's a weird thing I do. Anyway, it makes me think how different we are in our own ways. How we might say or do something that sounds good to some people and sounds absolutely jarring and just totally foreign to somebody else. and sometimes so much so that it can create misunderstandings just on the difference of the opinion. And it's like it's not even either is right or either is wrong. It's just a matter of how we understand things. And it's not like it's just not that deep. It's just not that deep. I don't really want to see it that way because life should just be simpler than that, right? And a lot of people want to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Sometimes you just have to sit down and just realize, like, the fact that I'm doing anything at all, that I'm making things, like I'm just throwing my art out there, really just kind of showing my whole ass. It's a weird documentation process for me. I don't have the best of memories, and I have so many journals that it's a mess. And I've been looking for a different way to document things. And this has been a really good way to do it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to find that middle ground to be authentic with myself. Not just trying to be over the top, but I'm just over the top because some days I just have that energy in me. I'm built like that, I guess, some days. And then other days it's like I have no energy at all. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to be around things. And it's really inconsistent for me. And I don't really know how to explain it. It's easy for me to just post shit on social media and post things on here because this is a character, right? Like, at the end of the day, this is still a character. Whether you watch me because you think I'm funny or cute or I'm talented or whatever, if you watch me because you hate me, all the reasons, the reality is that all press is good press, I mean, let's put it simply. Let's see. The right wing owns the advertisers, right? The right wing owns the advertisers. The advertisers own the media, right? The advertisers own the media. The right wing owns the advertisers. And the advertisers own the media. Therefore, the right wing owns the media. That means Fox, CNN, everybody. They own anything that is commercialized is owned by the right wing in the United States. I want you to really think about that. So when you consume my garbage, you're actively fighting against right-wing material because I don't commercialize my stuff. And I make really weird things that the algorithm absolutely does not like. And I really wish more people would do stuff like this because I'd be all over their comment section just like saying weird things and just like totally screwing with this entire engagement nonsense. Like, it doesn't matter if you hate me or you love me. If you comment on my channel, if you like anything, if you dislike anything, if you do anything except for blocking me or telling the algorithm I'm not interested in this content, we all lose. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only people who win are those right-wing people that own the advertisers. The advertisers own the media. So, I did like to, you gotta be a little responsible, We need to utilize our platforms for what's real and what's genuine. Like Black Lives Matter. A lot. We like to take a lot of things from Black American culture and we like to adopt it into our own things as if though it was there the whole time. But we absolutely hate the people from which all that enjoyment and delight comes from. We have to be real about these things. We're all people at the end of the day. And the reality is that the real identity politic isn't about being trans or any people of color or anything like that, being disabled. It's the real identity politic is It's white. And white's not a thing. White's the concept, right? It's just the thing that keeps inducting people based on a skin tone. But there's so many different people that, like, Italians weren't allowed to be part of that. Irish people weren't allowed to be part of that at some point in time. So it's like, it's just a recruitment tool. It's literally a political party. The concept of whiteness is just a political party. That's it. That's it. So, let's review. Do you remember what this sound is? That's the right wing. The right wing owns. The right wing owns. The right wing owns the advertisers, right? The right wing owns the advertisers. The advertisers own the media. The right wing owns the advertisers, and the advertisers own the media. From Fox News to CNN, liberal or conservative, it's all the same no matter what you do. It's the same no matter, it's that cool. So stop buying it and turn off your TV unless you're sitting here and you're watching me. Do you remember this chord? Or did you forget already? Black Lives Matter. Don't forget. And I'm here too. Trans rights forever. Forever and ever, baby. And let's not forget all the people who came before us. Indigenous rights too. Let's not be so damn ableist, huh? We're on the sidewalks. Fuck cars. We need more trains. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's gotta be a way to just love life. We need more common areas that we can just gather together and actually, like, spend time with each other, like, in person. What a concept, right? You know? It's like a giant grassy field. Instead of putting another high-rise there, another Dollar General. You know, like, I guess this is the Dollar General chord. Nobody likes this chord. It's a really pretty chord right now, but I mean, that's what happens. You throw money at stuff, right? You can buy an image for things. So it's your Dollar General chord, right? It's cheap. It's right there for you whenever you need it. But how do you get there? How do you get there without selling yourself, without selling everything? Sometimes you have to. Sometimes we have to buy things at the grocery store. And sometimes we don't have a choice when we have to go to places that we don't want to be. But there's always ways through it. Do everything you can. There's a time and a place to be good to yourself. And there's always a good time. And there's always a bad time. To be real. And sometimes we don't get to choose when those things happen to us. And when that happens to us, when other people around us are feeling the opposite way. I feel like I'm being kind of vague here, but if you tie that back into anything I've said up until this point, maybe it'll touch you like it touched me. So long for now.